Dalio of Bridgewater, his latest post on LinkedIn, he says the Fed needs to watch the bottom 60% of earners in the U.S. to make their policy. Really interesting commentary. Said that average statistics camouflage what's really happening in the economy and could lead to dangerous miscalculations, most importantly by policymakers. John, I thought that was a really interesting point. Like, if you're on a policy mistake, you look at just those who make more money and spend more. Yeah,
it's not the first time he's made this argument on exactly this, and there's some great stats in this piece. Only about a third of the bottom 60% saves any of its income. And for Ray Dalio, who spoke a lot about populism over the last year, his key concern is ultimately if you don't address that, if you address the averages, you'll miss the story, and the underlying story is one that's feeding populism and ultimately could end up in extremism. So it's a rather political point that's built on economics.
But it's really difficult when you wind up having to invest with that scenario, because populism has been rampant all over, and yet you haven't seen the material market reaction, and you're still talking about central banks tightening all over the world.
We've just talked about trade, and we've talked about what would happen with Mexico, David. A lot of people 12 months ago very frightened about what would happen with protectionism. It hasn't happened.
At the same time, at some point, if it gets too bad, and this is Ray Dalio's point, it becomes social instability. When we talk about it in China with unemployment issues, we don't talk about it in the United States and Western countries. At some point, you can have serious social instability if you don't address the entire population.
Well, we're seeing that in Spain in part, and potentially Italy with that election as well. Anyway,